Hey everyone, Dan here. We are just before market close on Tuesday, July 20th. I wanted to do a quick update on our play from yesterday with Palantir. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, ideas. These are not trading or investment advice. Do your own due diligence, put the work in for yourself, and make your own decisions based on your own information. All right, so Palantir, like I said in yesterday's video, I was looking for it to bounce in this purple zone based on these extension levels that we saw play out. Now, the big question was, would it hold that 2051 or would it just come down? It was a very speculative level. Like if we had drawn it in here, for example, it would have looked like it was going to push up, but then it pulled back much, much further than that area. Now, this area, to me, not as strong as the area in which we see it bouncing now. If we take a look at that, that throws us in here, which you have a little bit of price action, but definitely nothing as consistent, clear support and clear resistance as this current level. So to me, a more important level at the moment. Now, on the sort of uptick side of things, there's a few things that I'm still looking for that I don't have confirmation on the daily chart. Now, because I drew this trading plan up on the daily, I am trying to be pretty strict about staying on the daily and waiting for my indicators to indicate. Now, the MACD is obviously closing in on a crossover with the signal line. So if we can get that crossover, that bullish crossover, that will go a long way to helping me feel confident that the trade is playing out. The other thing that I said I was going to be looking for is the RSI to approach the midline and then hold support over the midline. We see all this previous activity, if you look left of where my cursor is, where it failed to be able to hold the midline and got pushed back down into oversold territory. So I don't want it to do that, but it certainly could. That to me is a risk. And then on the MAs, we're also approaching this newly formed 200 MA, and so that could bring in some resistance along with the 50 right around that 2298 area, and then the 20 is also racing down in order to provide additional resistance at whatever level that reaches the candlestick. So definitely some resistance still coming down. Now, the other thing that I am sort of looking for, which I don't see yet, is the volume. So obviously today we're having a nice green day, but I would like to see the volume sort of picking up, pretty solidly in order to be driving that price movement upward, and I don't really see that yet. I see pretty low volume down here. Sorry, I cannot get this thing to drag over to save my life at the moment. Okay, here we go. So pulling in the volume from today, just shy of 20 million, but again, average volume the last 3 months over 52 million. So I would really like to see the volume coming in to confirm that there is like really kind of fervent buying pressure coming into the market, and we're not just sort of having these off green days, because to me that just sort of looks like this. To me this is the biggest risk, is that something like this happens. It looks like it's reversing, and but it has further to fall. Again, that could happen. This is a strong zone, this purple area, but I think for me, the biggest thing that I need is volume, and then I need these indicators to go off in order to see, if they're going to play out. Now, like I said, because I drew this trading plan up on the daily, I try to be strict about staying on the daily. If I flip to something like even the 4-hour here and take a look at what's going on, obviously building nicely, but mostly on the indicator side of things. In the 4 over, we already have the bullish crossover. Okay, so this means it's coming pretty quickly on the daily, and we already have RSI over the midline on the 4-hour, and you see here it's stretching over any of previous highs since it's fallen out of overbought territory way back here. Okay, which was at the end of June. So for the last few weeks, this is the highest that it's been in the RSI, and it's looking like the MACD is still expanding its distance, so it's looking like it's still, popping out. Now, on this one, on this 4-hour time frame, we're just getting a resistance point with the MA50, but it's already overcome the 20, so the 20 should provide additional support. So this is where it's like, if I wanted to be if I wanted to take a riskier position, I would go ahead and jump in here based on the 4-hour data, but there's still that volume thing holding out. There's still me wanting to hold to my original plan, which was play it on the daily, because also, keep in mind that if we do hit to the upside here, I'm looking at a $30 target, and so for me, I really want to see that the play is playing out in sort of like a longer term fashion, as opposed to kind of rejiggering my trade play to fit my my want to not be patient. So, always something to keep in mind and try to keep your patience in check. All right, well, I just wanted to provide that little bit of update on what I'm looking at, but as those indicators go off, and definitely the last piece of the puzzle to me is going to be the volume coming in. So tomorrow, if we start pushing up toward that $23 mark, which will get us over that 23.6 extension area, my big question is going to be, is the volume following along? If not, then I think we run the risk of not being able to sustain the upward mobility. But I'll have to see what the RSI and the MACD are saying at that point, and sort of like see the confluence with the volume side of things and make a decision then. I don't think we're gonna get the crossover today, being that there's only about 10 minutes left in the trading day. All right, well, good luck if you're in Palantir. If you have your own thoughts, feel free to drop them below. And everyone has their own thoughts, so feel free to drop your own thoughts below if you'd like to share them. And I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.